This feels illegal, but it makes me over $1,000 a day. I'm only 22 years old, and while most people my age are working jobs that they hate or struggling to make a few $100 per month online, I've been able to build a business that pays me more in a day than most people earn in a week. And no, I don't trade crypto, I don't run some kind of scammy dropshipping store, and I'm definitely not doing anything illegal. My goal isn't to end up in jail. My goal has always been to be rich and to be free. So what I do is actually pretty simple. I sell high-ticket coaching and services to people who have painful problems. And in this video, I'm about to break down exactly how you can copy me and do the same. My name is Fred, and I went from making $0 per month, coming from the lower middle class, to making over $1,200 per day with my online business using a simple 4-step process. Now, I've put together a free video training that shows you everything I did step by step so you can copy me. The link will be in the bio. And if you want me to directly help you, I'm offering free strategy calls where together we'll come up with a game plan for you to get to $10,000 per month as quickly as possible. And to thank you, when we get to 30,000 subs on YouTube, I'll give away $2,000. Watch the video until the end, subscribe, and share with a friend to win. Now, most people overcomplicate making money. They think they need to have some crazy business idea, a massive audience, or a ton of startup capital. But the reality is, all you need to do is to find a painful problem, solve it for people, and charge a premium price. That's literally it. I mean, when I started my consulting business, I was around 19 years old. I didn't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest into starting a business. And I also didn't have decades of work experience. I literally got started from scratch. I was hungry to learn, to put in the work, and to make some serious money. So when I first got started, I wasn't a business genius by any means. I just figured out that business owners were struggling to book more sales calls for their businesses. They needed more calls to get more customers. And so I figured if I could help them to get more calls, they would increase their revenue. And surely they would be willing to pay me for that. So that's exactly what I started doing. I started selling it as a service. If you look at the first videos I posted on my YouTube in 2022, I was just publishing some random video sales letters I made to show to my prospects before they booked a call with me. I wasn't trying to break the algorithm just yet. Now, at first, to be honest with you, I was a bit undercharging. But then I realized something. Business owners didn't just want more calls, they needed them. Because no calls meant no clients. No clients meant no business. Money is the oxygen of a business. So that was a painful problem. And people are always willing to pay big money to solve painful problems. So I raised my prices, started charging thousands per customer instead of just a few $100. And as a result, my income skyrocketed. And eventually I realized I could help not only business owners, but also everyday people who wanted to build a high-ticket consulting business to obtain financial freedom. And that's exactly what I do now. I help ambitious individuals to start or even to grow a high-ticket consulting business to 10K per month, 20K per month, even more than that. So the process is simple. Traffic, calls, delivery. So let me break it down. Step number 1, traffic. You can have the best offer in the world, but if nobody actually sees it, you won't make any money. That's why the first thing I focus on is getting attention, bringing in leads through social media content. Now, you don't need to be famous, and you also don't need to go viral or to be an expert. You just need to attract the right people. For me, what that means is putting out content that speaks directly to my ideal customers, people who want to start a consulting business or who want to become financially free and make more money. So I post content about mindset, about step-by-step how-tos and guides, and my personal experience with starting a business. So because of that, it positions me as the go-to person to help people to escape their 9-to-5 job or to scale their existing business. And here's the key. In full transparency, every piece of content I release, it always has one goal: to get people to book a call with me. Because in a consulting business, that is where the real money is made, which is why step number 2 is calls. And this is actually where most people fail. They get traffic, but they don't know how to turn viewers into buyers, into cash. They post content, maybe some people DM them, but then nothing happens because they don't have a sales process in place. And if they do, they don't even have the right one. So here is what I do instead. When somebody reaches out, or when I reach out to someone, I'm not trying to sell them in the DM. Instead, I want to see if they could qualify for what I have to offer, if they could actually benefit from it, and if they could, I invite them to a call with me. Why? Because I need to have a conversation with them to know if they would actually benefit from what I have to offer. And selling high-ticket services over text is actually very, very difficult, if not impossible. It's very hard to convey the value of your offer via text instead of just talking to someone and having a real conversation. So selling on a call is 10 times easier. On the call, I follow a simple script. It's structured, it's proven, and it works. I don't push people. I don't try to convince anyone. I simply ask the right questions to understand their current situation, their pain points, and their desires. And that's how I can see whether or not I can help them. And if I can, I make them an offer. And here is the crazy part. On average, 20% of all the people I speak with actually become paying customers. That means every time I book 10 calls, I get 2 customers. So let's say hypothetically, I was charging $3,000. With 10 calls, 2 people buy, and I make $6,000, just like that. Now imagine if you were doing that every single week, or even better, better every single day. Do you see how this adds up extremely fast? The key is having a real offer that solves a painful problem and also a structured sales process that actually converts. And when you get this down, making money becomes predictable because it's a numbers game. It's simply mathematics. You get enough views, you book enough calls, you get enough customers, you hit your monthly income goal. That's it. It's not some rocket science or some magic which only a handful of people are able to somehow make it work. Anybody can do it as long as you follow the following criteria. You solve a painful problem for people, you charge high ticket prices, and you hit the right numbers. That's it. Now, a lesson that was completely life-changing for me was understanding that great salespeople do not sell deliverables, commodities. Instead, they sell futures, outcomes, and dreams. The features of your product, the technical side of it. That's not what your customers care about buying. Just think about brands like Chanel or Ferrari. Chanel isn't just selling a handbag. They're selling elegance, status, and exclusivity. Ferrari isn't just selling a car. They're selling the feeling of power, prestige, status. And you have to understand that people do not buy based on logic. They buy based on emotion, on who they want to become. If you're selling high-ticket consulting, you can't just sell coaching calls or modules. No one cares about that. It's plain, it's boring, and what's the point of it? You need to sell the outcome, the transformation, life-changing results. That's what people pay for. And when you understand this and you start applying it, you stop competing on price against everyone else because it's a race to the bottom. Instead, you get to work with amazing customers, you help them to solve the painful problems they have, and it changes everything. Now, once you get the sale, you actually have to deliver on the results. And that is where step 3 comes in. Step 3 is delivery. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking they need to trade their time for money. They are scared to sell high ticket because they're worried they would be stuck working 24/7 with their customers. But that's not how I do it. And that's not how successful people do it in the consulting industry. We structure our offer in a way that allows us to help lots of people while at the same time still loving what we do and not burning out. The main way I deliver results is through group coaching. Clients get access to live calls, training materials, they get feedback, we keep them accountable, and we do weekly Q&A calls to answer everyone's questions. So when you do group coaching, as opposed to only doing one-on-one coaching, like for example, people who sell 1 hour of coaching for $100, well, they struggle to get to $10,000 per month and they can't scale past that level. Like it's just physically not possible. But when you do group coaching, you can help more people and everybody benefits from other people's questions because it might answer a problem you didn't even realize that you had just by listening to somebody else voice it. And then, for you, the business owner, it allows you to scale faster without having to work more hours. And the best part is, once you build a solid offer, your customers get great results without having to hold their hand constantly. And when they succeed, they get amazing results, they tell other people. And that leads to referrals, which leads to even more sales calls booked, more customers. Everybody wins in the end. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I first started, I was terrified. I was terrified of putting myself out there, charging high ticket prices, and I was afraid of what people would think. But I had to realize that the version of me who was broke, I wasn't earning any money. I had to become very different in order to earn 10k, 20k, even 50k per month and more. I had to change. I had to let go of my self-doubt, to stop caring about other people's opinion and to step into a new identity. One where I was confident, decisive, and above all, willing to take risks. Because the truth is, making money is not just about strategy. It's also about having the right mental frameworks, the right mindset. A huge difference between rich people and poor people is also just the way that they think. I grew up in the lower middle class. My father was a nurse, my mother a nursing assistant. If my parents had known what rich people know, they would have been far wealthier themselves. It wasn't because they weren't hardworking enough or talented enough. It was because they lacked information and they had different beliefs about money and life in general. So you could have the best tactics, the best systems, the best strategies, but deep down, if you still view yourself as somebody who isn't meant to be successful, or if you think that making 10k per month or more, it's too good to be true, then you will always self-sabotage on every bit of progress that you make, and then you always end up right back to square one, stuck in the same miserable situation. The moment I stopped playing small and I fully committed to transforming myself and my business, everything changed for me. And if you actually want to make real money, you need to do the same. One thing I learned after studying so many successful entrepreneurs is that volume negate luck. Too many people just sit around waiting for the perfect opportunity, the perfect idea, or the perfect moment to get started. But in reality, success comes from sheer output. The goal is to do so much that it becomes completely unreasonable for you not to get the results you want. I'm a living, breathing example of this. Right now as we're speaking, we're posting 2 long-form videos per day on the main channel and multiple shorts as well. So we're constantly putting out more content, testing out different formats, seeing what works and what doesn't. And when you operate at that level, failure is not even an option because the numbers are in your favor and sooner or later you get insane results. I can promise you that 99% of people, they're not making as much money as they want because they haven't tried as hard as they could. So that's the mindset you need to win. Stop overthinking, stop waiting, and start taking massive action. And And that's how I make over 1k per day with 95% profit margins as a 22-year-old. It's not magic, it's by no means luck, it's simply about following a proven process. Traffic, calls, delivery. But here's the thing, most people will try to do this and nothing will come out of it because they won't stick with it. And a lot of people, they will hear this but keep scrolling, keep watching other videos and not even take action. And a year from now, they will be in the same position. They will still be broke. But a minority of ambitious individuals will take action. And in a few months, you could be at 10k per month or even more. Now, like I said, at the beginning of this video, I've put together a free video training in which I explain everything I did step by step to make upwards of 1k per day with 95% profit margins. I'm literally giving away all the secrets. And if you're actually committed and serious about making more money, I'm currently offering free strategy calls. And on the call, together, we'll come up with a game plan for you to get to $10,000 per month as quickly as possible. The links will be in the bio, but be quick because spots fill up extremely quickly. With that being said, I'll see you on the other side.